In last lecture, we have seen this problem. We'll solve next problem now. In a thermoelectric thermometer, in thermoelectric thermometer of temperature of 40 degrees Celsius temperature, the EMF is given as E is equal to 0.003 into T minus 5 into 10 to the power minus 7 into T square plus 0.5 into 10 to the power minus 3 volt. It is a thermoelectric thermometer which gives the reading in term of volt. Thermometer is having reference junction at a ice point and is calibrated at a ice point and steam point. What temperature shall be shown by the thermometer for the substance at 30 degrees Celsius? Means thermometer is calibrated at ice point and steam point. We know that ice point is 0 degrees Celsius and steam point is 100 degrees Celsius. And we have to check at 30 degrees Celsius how much this reading gives, how much temperature this thermometer gives. At ice point T is equal to 0 degrees Celsius. If we put 0 in this equation, then E0 stands for 0 degree. Therefore, value of E will be 0.5 into 10 to the power minus 3 volts. If you put T is equal to 0, this term will be 0. This term will be 0. Only 0.5 into 10 to the power minus 3 will be left. At steam point, if you put T is equal to 100, if you put T is equal to 100 in this equation, we will get E100. 100 stands for 100 degrees Celsius. Means E at 100 degrees Celsius is 0.0265 volts. When T is equal to 30 degrees Celsius, when we put 30 in this equation, we get value of E as 9.14 into 10 to the power minus 3 volt. But we have to convert this into temperature. We have to convert this into temperature. Thus, the temperature shown by this thermometer is a T is equal to E30 minus E0 upon E100 minus E0 into T100 minus T0. This is the interpolation formula. This formula is come from the interpolation. I will explain what is interpolation. Here T, we have to calculate temperature T. We know the value of volts at these temperatures. At 30 degree we know the volt, at 0 degree we know the volt, at 100 degree we know the volt. We have to calculate temperature T at 30 degree. We don't know the value of T at 30 degree. Into multiply by temperature at 100 degree temperature minus 0 degree temperature. We get, if you put the values, E30 is equal to 9.14 into 10 to the power minus 3, E0 is equal to 0.5 into 10 to the power minus 3, E100 equal to 0.0265, again E0 is equal to 0.5 into 10 to the power minus 3, multiply by 100, means 100 minus 0 is 100. We get 33.23 degrees Celsius. If you subtract 30 from this, we are getting error, but we don't want to calculate error. We have to calculate temperature shown by this thermoelectric thermometer. Now, how this formula came into picture? This formula is called interpolation formula. Look at here. This is the interpolation. How to do interpolation? We have two parameters, that is temperature and volt. We have temperature 0 degrees Celsius, that is ice point. We have temperature 100 degrees Celsius, which is steam point. And we have to calculate temperature shown by the thermometer at 30 degrees Celsius. Okay, therefore we have three temperatures, 0, 30 and 100. We have three EMF values, volt 0.6 into 10 to the power minus 3 for 0. It should be 0.5, not here it is 0.5, it is by mistake, it is 0.6, it is 0.5 into 10 to the power minus 3. Then at 30 degrees Celsius, we have 9.14 into 10 to the power minus 3. It should be 9.14 into 10 to the power minus 3. Then at 100 degrees Celsius, it is 0.2 0.265. 0.265. Take these values as A, B and C. Means this is TA, this is TB and this is TC. This is EA, EB and EC. Left hand side I am writing a formula B minus A upon C minus A. Also right hand side I am writing formula B minus A upon C minus A. On the left hand side I will put the values of temperature. On the right hand side I will put the values of volts. Now B is 30, A is 0, C is 100 and A is 0. Here I will put these values. Now I want to calculate this value. I want to calculate B minus A. Therefore B minus A, I want to calculate this value. B minus A is equal to B minus A upon C minus A into CA. Now this CA represent, this C is 100 and this A represent 0 and this B is 9.14 into 10 to the power minus 3, A is 0.5 into 10 to the power minus 3 and C is 0.0265. This is the formula of interpolation. From this formula we got this value. Next, pressure. We have already seen the pressure, but in a more detail we will see the pressure, different types of pressures like absolute pressure, gauge pressure, vacuum. Okay, we have seen in our 10th standard or 12th standard also pressure. Pressure is a force per unit area. Definition of pressure. Pressure defines the force per unit area. Pressure are exerted by the gas, vapor and liquid. Pressure are exerted by gas, vapor and liquid. Solid, if the pressure exerted by solid is called as stress. It's called as stress, not pressure. If you apply force on a particular area of a block, of a solid block, we call it as a stress, not a pressure. The instrument that are generally used, however, record pressure as a difference between the two pressure. Thus, it is the difference between the pressure exerted by the fluid of interest and the ambient atmospheric pressure. Whenever we use any pressure gauge, the device which is used to measure the pressure is called as a pressure gauge. Pressure gauge gives zero reading at atmospheric pressure. It doesn't mean that atmosphere doesn't exert any pressure. Atmosphere has its own pressure. The atmospheric air exerts some pressure on our body. We don't feel because we are habitual of that. But actually atmospheric pressure is 1 atmosphere, which is also called as 1.01325 bar or 1.01325 Pascal. This is the value of atmospheric pressure. But at atmospheric pressure, pressure gauge shows 0. Pressure gauge shows 0. If I want to measure the pressure of a gas and pressure gauge gives 1 bar, pressure gauge gives 1 bar, it is a gauge pressure. It is a gauge pressure. If I want to convert that gauge pressure into absolute pressure, then I have to add atmospheric pressure into gauge pressure. Then total pressure will be 1 plus 1.01325 bar. It will be 2.01325 bar. The absolute pressure will be 2.01325 bar. It means every pressure gauge shows the difference between the actual pressure and the atmospheric pressure. It gives the difference between the pressure of interest and the atmospheric pressure. Pressure of interest means the substance for which we are measuring the pressure. Such devices indicate the pressure either above or below that of atmosphere. Such pressure gauge either records the pressure above atmosphere or below atmosphere. If the pressure is above atmosphere, if the pressure gauge showing value greater than 0 or above atmospheric, then it is called as a positive pressure. It is called as a positive pressure or gauge pressure. When it is above the atmospheric pressure, it is termed as a gauge pressure or the positive pressure. Or the pressure gauge gives the pressure below atmospheric pressure or below zero reading in the pressure gauge, which is called as a negative pressure or the vacuum. Vacuum represents the negative pressure. When it is below the atmospheric, below the atmospheric, in pressure gauge, zero reading represents the atmospheric pressure. If the reading we are getting above zero, then it is positive pressure, or we can say it is a gauge pressure. But if the pressure gauge represents the pressure below zero reading, it means it is a vacuum, and that pressure is said to be as negative pressure. Vacuum readings are given in millimeter of mercury. Vacuum readings are very small, therefore we cannot measure in numbers, that is in bar. Therefore we represent that reading in millimeter of mercury or millimeter of water below the atmosphere. Generally, if we talk about the liquid, if the pressure of a liquid below atmospheric pressure, we can measure it in, or the gas even, in term of millimeter of mercury or millimeter of water below the atmosphere. It is necessary to establish the absolute pressure scale which is independent of change in atmospheric pressure. The pressure of absolute zero can exist only in a complete vacuum. There is a concept of absolute zero pressure. At atmospheric pressure, when the pressure gauge shows zero reading, it means zero represents the atmospheric pressure. It means atmosphere exerts some pressure. Atmosphere itself has some pressure. It is not absolute zero. Absolute zero pressure is a pressure where there is complete vacuum. We can say when the absolute pressure is 0 bar, then it is called as absolute zero. Any pressure measured above the absolute zero of pressure is termed as absolute pressure. Any pressure measured above the absolute zero of pressure is termed as absolute pressure. Means if the pressure, any pressure above the absolute zero pressure is called as absolute pressure. It may be vacuum, it may be gauge pressure. The schematic diagram showing the gauge pressure, vacuum pressure and the absolute pressure is given in the figure. Now look at this figure. First look at the right hand side figure. This right hand side figure, the bottom line represents the absolute vacuum. The vacuum is 100%, and this line represents the pressure, absolute pressure, as a 0 bar. This line represents the absolute pressure as a 0 bar, and this middle line represents the atmospheric pressure. At atmospheric pressure, pressure gauge represents 0 bar. If you try to measure the atmospheric pressure using pressure gauge, it will show 0 reading. But absolute pressure is a sum of atmospheric pressure and a gauge pressure. Therefore, absolute pressure will be 0 plus 1.01325 bar. Atmospheric pressure reading is 1.01325 bar. Is the absolute pressure at atmospheric. Atmospheric pressure in atmosphere unit is a 1 atmosphere. Pressure has various units like atmosphere, bar, Pascal, Newton per meter square, then mm of Hg, mm of water. There are some units. If we talk about the atmosphere unit, atmospheric pressure is 1 atmosphere in terms of atmospheric unit. 1 atmosphere is equal to 1.0325 bar. If we measure atmospheric pressure in bar, it is 1.0325 bar. Now 1.0325 bar is equal to 760 mm of Hg. 760 mm of Hg. If you want to measure in Newton per meter square, then it will be 10325 bar Newton per meter square or Pascal. Now this third line, upper line represents the gauge pressure. If we are measuring the pressure of a gas and which shows, suppose uh, suppose 2 bar, 2 bar. Any pressure gauge gives reading above atmospheric. At this point, pressure gauge will give 0 reading, and if you measure the gas and the gas pressure is suppose 2 bar, then absolute pressure at this point will be is equal to gauge pressure plus atmospheric pressure. Therefore, absolute pressure is equal to sum of atmospheric pressure plus gauge pressure. It means the pressure, absolute pressure in the bar will be 2 plus 1.01325 bar. Now talk about the vacuum pressure, vacuum or the negative pressure. The pressure measured below the atmospheric pressure is called as a vacuum. Now vacuum is measured below atmosphere. Suppose there is a vacuum of 0.5 bar. Vacuum of 0.5 bar. It means absolute pressure is equal to atmospheric pressure minus 0.5. If you subtract 1.01325 minus 0.5, you will get absolute vacuum, you will get absolute pressure. Therefore, in term of positive pressure, we add the gauge pressure. In term of negative pressure, we subtract the vacuum. Absolute pressure is equal to atmospheric pressure plus gauge pressure. Atmospheric pressure plus gauge pressure, and vacuum pressure is equal to atmospheric pressure minus absolute pressure. Or we can write absolute pressure is equal to atmospheric pressure minus vacuum pressure. Vacuum is this pressure. If you want to calculate absolute pressure, if the pressure is positive, add in the atmospheric pressure. If pressure is negative, subtract from the atmospheric pressure. Vacuum is defined as the absence of pressure. Vacuum is defined as the absence of pressure. There is no pressure, or the gas or the air is removed. The perfect vacuum is obtained when there is zero pressure. At this instant, molecular moment is zero. If there is a 100% vacuum, there is nothing. Nothing means if there is nothing, the molecular moment will be zero. Pressure is defined as the normal force exerted by the fluid per unit area. This is another definition, the same definition, another explanation. The pressure is defined as the normal force or perpendicular force exerted by the fluid per unit area. We speak of pressure only when we deal with a gas or liquid. The counterpart of the pressure in a solid is a normal stress. When we talk about the solid, we call it as a normal stress. It is also force per unit area. Since pressure is defined as the force per unit area, it has a unit Newton per meter square. Force is a Newton and area is a meter square. The unit is Newton per meter square, and 1 Newton per meter square is called as a Pascal. Therefore, I have written here 1 Pascal is equal to 1 Newton per meter square. We will see another units. 1 bar is equal to 10 to the power 5 Pascal or 0.1 megapascal. We know that megapascal is 10 to the power 6 Pascal. If you want to convert it into 0.10 to the power 6, then we have to take 0.1 before. Therefore, it will be 0.1 megapascal, or we can say 100 kilopascal. 1 atmosphere is equal to 1.01325 bar, as we have seen the diagram. Now if you want to convert 1.01325 bar into pascal, you have to shift this point on the right hand side of 5 numbers. Therefore 101,325 pascal. If you want to convert pascal into kilopascal, take this point into 3 number left. Then it will be 1, 2, 3. It will be 101.325 kilopascal. 1 kgf per centimeter square. 1 kgf per centimeter square is equal to 9.807 Newton per centimeter square. What we are doing, we are multiplying 1 with 9.8. Since it is a force, we have to multiply it with the acceleration due to gravity. Therefore it will be 9.81 or 9.807 Newton per centimeter square. If you convert centimeter square into meter square, it will become 10 to the power 4. 9.807 into 10 to the power 4 Newton per meter square is equal to 9.807 into 10 to the power 4 pascal, because Newton per meter square is a pascal. If we are able to write it in a 10 to the power 5, then it will become bar. If we write 10 to the power 5, then it will be 0.9807 bar. And in term of atmospheric pressure, 0.9679. Just we have to divide it by 1.01325. If we divide it by 1.01325, we will get in atmospheric pressure. 1 atmosphere equal to 1.01325 bar is equal to 760 mm of Hg. We have already seen in the diagram. 1 atmosphere is equal to 1.01325 bar, which is equal to 760 mm of Hg. 1 bar is equal to 750.06 mm of Hg. Remember, 1 atmosphere is equal to 760 mm of Hg. 1 bar is equal to 750 mm of Hg. This unit conversion will help us while solving the numericals. 1 bar is equal to 14.5 psi. You might have heard psi. Whenever we fill air in our vehicle, the reading shows in the psi. Reading is in a psi. We normally fill 30 to 40 psi. 30 psi is approximately 2 bar, and 40 psi is approximately 2.5 bar. Okay, now 1 bar is equal to 14.5. Whatever pressure we are putting into our vehicle, if you divide it by 14.5, you will get in bar. 1 mm of Hg is equal to 133.4 Newton per meter square. This unit will help you to convert mm of Hg into Newton per meter square. If the pressure is given in mm of Hg, you can convert by multiplying it with the 133.4. Next example, convert the following reading of a pressure to kilopascal, assuming that barometer reads 760 mm of Hg. We have to convert into kilopascal. We have to convert into, it is not asked to convert into absolute, we will convert into gauge. Okay. The barometer reading reads 760 mm of Hg. Barometer is a device which gives the atmospheric pressure. Barometer is a device which gives the atmospheric pressure, and atmospheric pressure is 760 mm of Hg. Let's convert 760 mm of Hg into kilopascal first. Assuming density of Hg means mercury is 13.596 into 1000. 13.596 is a specific gravity of mercury. If you multiply specific gravity with a density of water, we get density of the substance. Therefore, the density of mercury is 13.596 into 1000 kg per meter cube. The pressure of 760 mm of Hg will be, the formula for pressure is rho gh. We have already seen that 760 mm of Hg is equal to 760 mm of Hg is equal to 1.0325 bar. Let us calculate how this has come. Pressure is equal to rho gh. Formula of pressure is equal to rho gh. I will explain the subsequent lectures how rho gh comes. Pressure is equal to rho gh. Rho is the density of fluid, g is the acceleration due to gravity, and h is the height in a pressure gauge column or the column of U-tube manometer or the distance of a fluid. Now rho is 13.596 into 1000. It is the rho. G is the 9.806 and H is 760 mm of Hg. Now it is a 760 mm of, here it is given in mm, therefore I have divided by 1000. It will be meter now. It will be meter. Then calculate it, it will be 101,325 Pascal or 1.01325 bar. Look at here. 1.0325 bar is equal to 10325 Pascal. Now convert 10325 Pascal into kilopascal. It will be 101.325 kilopascal, because we have to shift 0.3 number left. Now pressure of 80 centimeter of Hg. First of all, convert 80 centimeter of Hg into 80 mm of Hg. It will be 800 mm of Hg. Therefore, 800 divided by 760. If we divide mm of Hg by 760, we get into and multiply it by 101.325 kilopascal. Whenever you have to convert mm of Hg into kilopascal divided by 760. Why you have to divide it by 760? Because 760 represent the 1.10325 Pascal, kilopascal. Therefore, divide 800 by 760 into 10325, 101.325. It will give 106.65 kilopascal. Or you can directly divide it by 750. I have already told you that 1 bar is equal to 750. If you divide this value by 750, you will get in bar directly. It means it is a 10 to the power 5 Pascal or 10 to the power 3 kilopascal. 10 to the power 3 kilopascal. Now 30 centimeter of Hg vacuum. Now it is in vacuum. Therefore, first of all, convert this vacuum into gauge. It is 30 centimeter, and we have to subtract 30 centimeter from atmospheric pressure, and atmospheric pressure is a 760 mm of Hg. Since it is written in centimeter, I have taken 760 mm of Hg into 760 centimeter of Hg. Therefore, it is 76 centimeter of Hg. 76 minus 30 is equal to 46 centimeter of Hg. Now in term of mm, it is 760 divided by 460 divided by, since it is 46 centimeter, I have taken it here in a 460 mm of Hg. 460 divided by 760 into 101.325, you will get in kilopascal. Next, pressure due to 1.35 meter of H2O gauge. Again, we have to convert this into kilopascal. 1.35 meter is equal to value of H, and H is the H2O. H2O is a fluid. We know the density of fluid. The formula is rho GH. Rho is the density. Density of water is 1000. G is a 9.80706, 9.806 or 9.1 you can take, and height is a 1.35 meter. Calculate it. You will get in Pascal. 13238 Pascal, which is equal to 13.238 kilopascal. Now 4.2 bar. 4.2 bar is equal to 4.2 into 10 to the power 2 kilopascal, or you can write 4.2 into 10 to the power 5 Pascal, which is equal to 4.2 into 10 to the power 2 kilopascal, which is equal to 420 kilopascal. Note, pressure of 1 atmosphere is equal to 760 mm of Hg, which is equal to 10325 Pascal.